Oh dear! Okay, what do you got here straight? We have Web Saya, and we have this story about King Kong, and God versus Godzilla. Well, this is going to be worth it. And now we have at the bottom one there. He said, "The name Vision P coming." Wow, that artist did a good job. I don't know what else to say. Well, you also say you did the only good job, but I guess so I say I doing amazing. So it looks great for this one of my painting artworks. Because it just only cover books is only just show it appears. So random. Why kind of only one artwork you did take time for the other artwork? You did your best and then I could try. So I literally never try out to say that's all, folks, and we're gonna see it. Like, make sure you go on the website for the web God Saya into the web Saya. So go ahead and check it out. There are lots of there's a lot of monster creatures in the King of Only One of a Legend of God Saya. Enjoy the video. Very impressed. Wow. They're only impressed. Now I choose random and suddenly opposite. And now we can choose only psych boom random is silver. And we had greetings for 123 7 Main Street. And we had cattail for the Plants vs Zombies. And the last one is Injamon. It's for Digimon. Yep, they were anime. So now, first up, we have 100% right at the top. That's all the way in. You choose this one for the Street of Five Nights at Freddy's and horror games as well. It's both at the same time. Oh yeah, there is coming out soon. Never get Ghibli cheese. Please, I could do something. Of course, they choose this one. They choose a horror games. Yay! I choose a how did I find this old games? I love this game. Okay, sleeping about a one day in Swiss. It's had a week. It's about 7 a.m. and it shows about 10 votes, and we had 20% for Science Boom for Silver, and the 40% for Greens for 123 Sonomede Streets, and now 33% for Cattail for the Plants for Zombies, and 30% for Angel One. Huh. Well, that's a pathetic anyone's agree for this 123 Southern Main Street into this world of nightmare, of them, demon, of puppets that be drawing in this world of ends of nightmares. It only ways only you take it to patrol by only a nightmare bowling say wings. Let's just get started. Hello, with beginning its ways. So we can just draw this gradient evaluated that found. So there are puppets, each of them are devil. I know the only kind of rest of them puppets is not in the child, but they're gonna just draw their face. So we're gonna draw the face right there in the face field. And we'll put the face right there in the system. If they can do the birds, it will kind of ouchies. So there are phoning in the name male or female. So he's saying this is pink. He has red eyes, according to that he has blue eyes. So his her is the name of birds. He's a female bird. What I assign for this is only birds. There are different species of a female. Let's raise a circle around it so we can prepare to it. Now let's draw the peaks here so it'll each area is equal to cost. There are different any kind. Oh no, they only say, oh yeah, this bird kind of different, kinds a lot. And it was saying the birds in species. You could have hit like, oh yeah, looks like a flashing puppets inside the stuff for car shoot. But not really car shoot. It's very big. It is each retreat the puppets. How are the big puppets a size like a smallest puppets? Just like a marionette. So marionette just do is it come to life. It only has this makes sense. How the puppets is come to life. And did the devil send it into the hell, or they take out the soul? Well, it turns out I'm gonna say I like it when saying, how is this one possible? Waste of killing birds. I mean, it's not like different. He can't fly birds correctly, so he has a fur. He has a fur without feathers. So yeah. I have bad feelings about this. It's just like it's in a Sesame Street. Owner has a for a childhood for the TV show, and they turn himself into the voice. I wonder if this one puppet doesn't exist in the abandoned house. Huh. I wonder if this has never used a puppet, then who's it going to replace? He going to replace the other puppets, but they take away the hunter. So hunter is an elephant. I know what the way is. It looks like it's shaped like an elephant, but it has a horn. Yeah, yes, it one horn. We get to speak of the witch and and the one else like, oh dear, this is a nightmare. I'm gonna close down this abandoned house. In abandoned warehouse. Yes, it could be true that Wahlberg just stole it and then go taking the window out. It'll sound like "Caw!" and looks like a parakeet. I know the birds sound like phony females, but it's still the difference. What's the difference with that? Ah! It only like video 17 with a slow hinting like, oh yeah, but this parakeet little birds, why do you come from you there? Ah! And the only hears. I just hear a lot. Why does that sound come from? Like, of course, they are prototype for birds. It's not pink. It has a blue eyes. I know. They are proponents. He's become evil. He become demon. Like, ah! He's only birds. They're all jump scared. He just jump on you. He's like rapping you. And speaking of which, he just beak at you. You just saying that I say beak. Oh, I get. One just stop right there. So I had no idea they tend to sound like a bird, but to sound like a parakeet. What's the difference? Means the difference, every difference, wherever difference, little kind is. But let's continue. Well, so we're gonna start for the line. So the lines of any goes in. Each of them only has a puppet look just like calling, say, animation of cartoons. Enemy, this is the message on the television that you've intended for a horror story for kids. Only puppets do. So they are fun for the intended for the show. And the ending take care for that show is to, I don't know, who's we play for the puppet. Let me know who is a play for the puppets. And so who is the guy who made the creation of this puppet. And else, there's lots of clones. There are more here. This little lickety demons. Well, that's kind of only one way. It's like other ways in others. I mean, the birds are like different. You just swear to any species bird. They're both googly eyes, it only just like that, so any here to care. I know it looks like an independent of Metroid, even not any eh? Well, it's looks kind of it's a I'm not pretty sure of Fun as Freddy's. It's not really but it looks like it's like a puppet mixing with this puppet toys of Fun as Freddy's. Well, that's a confirmed. Now we have an experience and the different way they're different. Oh hey, there are different ways of birds, evil or he be good or he's not good, he don't like lights. The flashlight he got against the dark. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's a makes sense. This really show that bird don't like every some kind of only light. His weakest is his light. I know he's against light. He's so blind to you, and the birds he don't like it, so he covered with mask. He covered with unblur, just like vampire. So the devil don't like every single light. Including other flashlight he can use for. If he ran out of power, that means he get the devil to get to kill you. Well, this is gonna be his least. It's like at least you need to keep a safe power. Oh, it'll do it correctly. There's a mini game on it too, so there are kinds of mini games and Easter eggs. Oh yeah, there are Easter eggs. I can't wait till I go see it. And now there are the Easter eggs to each of them in this room. One, there are stories to tell you about it. There are lots of stories. That each children has been cursed by their own nightmares. The nightmares come true. The puppet is of course a nightmare for kids. They crying around. They scared. They hear sounds. And then Robert's just um I don't know, do something with this. So that story is some kind of different origin of a young girl into the sometimes, which is a young girl. She just sit there in the bed, and that Robert stole something, or sometimes he just stole the items. Yay! And that was like it was like, oh yeah, this was just a origin of that guy just quiet down and choke his neck into the lady. And what kind of nation to choke that like that? Why like, oh, why the robber just choke him? Why you kill? And they call 911 in to call the police officer achieve it, and they go find it the who killed someone. And suddenly they break the window and check upstairs and crate it, and suddenly just fall down in the pit, and they found out there's a posters. Hey, this looks like a poster of a TV show of a man in the streets. Sesame Streets. He's entered the Sandwich streets of a puppets. There are lots of puppets around here too. So yeah, that's a visual. So they deciding to, hey, you see puppets not here, so there's no attendant, no building. Which is nobody's in the building of a abandoned house. There are abandoned factories around here too. So there's nobody here. So they closed down this place and they called the Smandy Streets, the Sesame Street, and for not attended for drugs. What is that? What they gonna supposed to know? No, this is not intended to, because this is scary. The only scary one is his eyes. The only one who's not going to do that. So it kind of makes sense. True, and he just say, "Oh, the building is so scratched. Maybe I go scrap this puppets." And the puppets just put there in the egg in the safety, and he finally come to life. And who which exactly? Nowhere. Nowhere found. They are all known characters. All known can't be found. So there's a horror ones in this abandoned structure. So there are different items that are like sometimes will be like, oh, this is different puppets. There are prototypes. So there are prototypes. They made out of metal. It has inside his wire wards and strings, and has a fur with a costume. It's just like a only say ammo is maintain the characters. He was red with heads orange on their nose, and they tend to the kids. Yep, animals like it. That's why they closed down for this building of Sesame Streets. So 123 Sesame Street doesn't mean he's not giving three characters come to life. And 10 and 2 he's not opening today. So that was stories about those three puppets, or there are other puppets. That's very strange claws of hers. I really like hers claws. It's not even worth it. That's why he's not like hers. His nails is kind of claw, just like a fingernails. What's wrong with that? Who told like exactly to release the devil with the claws? Maybe it's just going to kill him? Or is someone going to hit someone? Or did tend to just come out and show us the building in the face? It turns out, there's no way out. There's no way to go the exit. The puppets show us this is a loop. The loop shows in the floor. Each floor is about 7 floors, while the exactly 8. Well, there are each level to get the escape this place in the building. Well, this is gonna be tough. You need to keep away for those puppets will follow you. Ooh, I know that the puppets show us. So they follow you all a long time. In the song, really kind of like its song. Each of them is a really big, typical song. But what happens if you can burn down puppets? Not really, he's still alive. Each puppet can cross the fire in the first place. Yep, that's right, he just crossed the fire in the first place. Never hurt, never harm. The devil's still alive. Except he's not affected light, because he's not fire affections. So yeah, that's a problem. So this puppets come to life every time he want to. So they send out the nightmare of doom of this puppet. And he comes to life just only to say that the Sulu as a puppet, she uses we reach plushies. Yeah, they like each of the plushies. They're kind of fun. They're each of the plushies for kids. I like it. So they are each them intended to. What's one where it has a two toes? It was that 1, 2. Well, turns out it looks like an edit. What I missing? What's the difference with the edit? Well, not well. They turns out they cut out the characters. This Hunter is trying to. He's just saying edits like light. Sometimes the puppets do light. I mean, who doesn't like devil? He don't like light. Except a hunter, they do light. They like something else is like, oh, I like light. I keep that way. Edifice seems like it outside. He wants to see it outside the true world. I mean, he feel like it's like to go in there. You feel like it. That's something else. It's something else like with each of them with what to do. So, I feel comfortable. I know Feathers has arm looks like it has his skin. Ugh, baby Grace. I've never seen a bird has to take off his curve headbands. At first, he's just taking his skin off. Ugh, this one has a claw. Very, very dangerous. Alright, and exactly how they're going to sacrifice. And how his weakness is going to end? Is this nightmare puppets going to end the streets? Well, they did. So puppets survive, but he just burned. That's all. So they burn the puppets just like other animatronics do. They burn itself. Exactly. Springtrap just survive. Why, Springtrap? Don't make the end, please. And now this is gonna be not worth. Now this is worth it. And not at least puppets just never survive. Including that, he just burned himself already. Except other puppets too. I'm going to say Nightmare. What did Nightmares do? He just flies around just like I just fly around at sights. I will reach the puppets that come true the nightmare. And now I am come. It's certainly devil. All one is saying we learn why not into the sense of the puppets. No way he can come to life because each of them die. Either burn the scribble in the rare times. That's it, he's done. He just done, he just grumble and survival nightmares. It just end your own fate. And now that's probably it. So you will like say, oh yeah, Roberts is alive. He just exits. He just entered the outside the building and the police officer arrest him. And that's it. He just take him into jail. That's all it. So that's a story about the greenlands of the others, greenlands of the grease of the Sesame Streets. Enjoy the video. And we did it. We complete this bird into this called greetings. Now greetings is complete, and now you guys enjoy in this video. I have been and the only drawing this year, and I only had the first of all we hit something. Is a mess since we get to the birds and 10 with the ingers on the devils on the streets. So sort of me streets 1, 2, 3. That one number is a number 1. Number 1 is a queenings. Number 2 is what is a follower, and number 3 is only saying goblet. What's the difference? And enjoy the video. I'm gonna do the next one that has to be those creatures come from, so I'm gonna do more Puppets Nightmare, and I would do more things like a Cookie Monsters, and enjoy the video. Bye! Oh yeah, check out more videos about it. Oh yeah, they are each game it cost me to lag, and it's just that's it for the year. So bye bye.